Action.
Wait, 1 second.
Almost action.
Almost action. Okay.
Chizuk from her Hasidus. Hasidim. You know that joke, yeah? So, where are we at? So we're basically in the Tanya, Baruch Hashem, Sefer Tanya. It's a new week, Parshat Ki Tezai Elul. I couldn't find the Sefer Tanya in the base midrash, so it must be someone's using it, Baruch Hashem. So I bought a chumash. And to realize that there's so much mitzvahs in this week's Parsha, an opportunity to connect into one of the foundations of Tanya, which, if you look at the seventh Rebbe from Chabad, the Einiklach, all the way down to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, some say Shlita, we say Zatzal, that Baruch Hashem, he taught us action is the main thing, doing. What's the Ikahi, Masa? So doing mitzvahs, and there's so many mitzvahs in this week's Parsha. So Elul is a biro, is a chance to really clarify what we're here for. We're here for shlichus, we're here for the Chochmah, Ki Tezai Elul. It's an intense time, intense avoda. And we were learning last week, we mentioned this concept of doing tzedakah and letting go and bittul. So we had a Rosh Tevas of wow. Now I sort of made up my own version. I said not woke, I said work. What was the second one? Oh wow, now I've forgotten the O. And then the W is, the last W is being able to, so the first one really is not work, it's worry. Yeah? What was the second one? You remember last time? the O, and the last W is to be able to, Baruch Hashem, is to be able to not withhold. Yeah? So I don't know if anyone can, obsess. So we got 3 words. Remember, the first one is not to worry. Don't worry about money. Hashem's going to take care of it. Elul, do tzedakah. We're going to learn in this parak. I don't know if we'll get there today. I thought we would, but probably next week we'll talk about how the importance of tzedakah, elevating everything, and not to worry about it, not to obsess over money, because that creates enemies, and not to, the third one is the Gedalia Fences concept. The last one, what did I say? W, the last W? No, to withhold. So with your family, make sure you're generous. So this is wow. I actually used that for Nissan Black when he told me something today. I said, wow! It was a big wow. Because everyone needs Yeshuas in this inyan, and tzedakah is one of the ways to bring Yeshuas. So we've been talking about the division of the world, the 600,000 neshamas corresponding to the world with the 600,000 parts, and this is from the summary of Shmuel Diamond. And these 600,000 neshamas are root souls and can themselves be subdivided 600,000 sparks. These individuals of neshamas descend into this world and become enclosed in the body for the exclusive purpose of raising up the nefesh bahamis, the animal soul. It becomes enclosed within and the portion of the world that is connected to that particular nefesh bahamis. So it's going to be very easy how we're going to then get into tzedakah, because tzedakah is the most obvious way of taking something, you schwitzed over this, you worked hard, and taking something of your chiyas, your energy, and now using it to help another person the way Hashem wants us to. And that's an obvious way. But then there's all the mitzvahs, there's all the different neshamas, all the different individuals. Where, when people are talking about Am Yisrael, why can't it be more achdus? So we know the famous quote, there's 3 million prime ministers in Eretz Yisrael, yeah? Now there's 11 million or something. But it's a place with strong individuals. So in order, as someone said today on one of these podcasts, there's the most amount of Yidden now in Eretz Yisrael. So this is historical. Not only that this is a point where we see there's more Yidden now in Eretz Yisrael, hopefully, please God, also keeping Torah, at least on some level, and getting chizuk from an increase in Emunah during this war, and achdus, even though we don't see the achdus on the media, but if we don't go to the media and we go to the everyday person, there is achdus. There's unity. And this, we're going to see in this Torah, like how much we are all together on this journey. And the more we're together, the more we're tuned into the soul level, the united souls, which is what my whole book's about. The more we're tuned into that concept, that we are souls and we're united, the more we have ability to be in the part of the journey of the Tzaddikim, which is the big key to Elul. If you want to have Tzedakah in Elul, we mentioned from Rabbi Nachman's Torah, being Mekash ourselves to the Tzaddik. And that was one of the things. I just want to make a ticket. I'll talk about it tomorrow more, or on Tuesday rather, because tomorrow, Monday, Thursday, I'm teaching at Shir David, just a plug for them. And Baruch Hashem, they've had some special people, but I was talking to someone this past Shabbos, just a side note, and they mentioned that each place has its advantages right now. They're feeling, I'm not going to say who, but they're loving the fact that Shtiebel, they like to have Michael Huckabee come, the US ambassador, was a big moment, and then the Shabbos coming up is Eitan Katz, and the week after it's in Black, and all the special people that come, and it's a big matzav, all the seminaries and shivas, and it's a big matzav. But what's important about this place is keeping it family focused. So it's not about all this, it's about the family. And that is something which is a struggle in a shul, to get that balance. And kol hakavod to the family minion as well for providing this and doing that in a real way. Once the totality of the vital soul of the community of Israel become a holy chariot of God, there's a general vitality of this world. Now it's very important to tune into the Lashon. Yeah, when we talk about achiyas, vitality, this is something fundamental. Achiyas is what brings, like we were learning from Shlomo on Erev Shabbos, that's what brings the key to Yiddishkeit, to have chiyas, to have energy, to the frischkeit. That was the Erev Shabbos shir, very important. Yeah, which now, Shehi Klipah Nogah Achshav, which will also emerge from Klipah Nogah. The problem is, it also emerged from impurity and sickness, which we don't want. We don't want it to emerge from these three not pure klipas. Yeah, Lios Mekavel Hashem, to become a chariot for Hashem. Why? His Galas Kavodo. We're here to reveal the Kavod Hashem, and that's what Am Yisrael are here for. We're here to become the holy chariot for Hashem. We, the community, as a community, we're here to bring out the Kavod Shemayim. So obviously we see, like if we look at it on a public level, that's not so simple. Because if there's different groups and we're not really seemingly unified, so we need the Mashiach, we need the Beis Hamikdash, we need the centralization of Am Yisrael to one place. So that, as someone said this Shabbos wisely, he said, I'll quote who it was, Eddie Kronisberg, he said, if everyone have one Nusach Tefillah, that would unify all of us, and one minhag of Eretz Yisrael that everyone agrees with. You can still have your individual minhagim and masoras and your own sort of different aspects of it that make it so beautiful. The Yemenites and the Ashkenazim and the Sephardim, all the different groups. But you have one nusach to unite, one tefillah that unites us all, and that would be a beautiful concept. It's like be the Yisrael or Am Yisrael's tefillah, whatever you would call it, nusach Yisrael. Like the Baal Shem Tov's original kavanah of the nusach Sfard was it should be the 13th gate. There was 12 different sharim connected the 12 tribes, and the 13th gate was supposed to be Nusach Sfard, which was this unifying gate of Tefillah. Obviously we see it didn't totally work because there was a snagdus, and even the Tanya himself went and made a new Nusach Hari, and even within Maksach Sidim became like different. So it didn't completely manifest the Kavanah, but the Kavanah is still there of making a Nusach of Tefillah that would unite everyone. It's 13th Shah. Elios Makav Hashem is Galas Kavodo. And upon the revelation of Hashem's glory, then all of the flesh will behold Hashem's godliness. And what will happen? Together He will appear over them with the majestic beauty of His power. It's called Aretz. This is the kind of thing when we're davening, we shouldn't just say the words because we say them. It's be Yotzi and then say Yossi is a beautiful chazan and he's leading in Akdishcha and he says Kadosh Kadosh Hashem it's kol haaretz kavodoi. We should really try think into those words. We're filling up the land. We have to envision it. We have to experience it together. We're standing and davening, and He's lifting us up through the tefillahs that He's bringing us together with His beautiful niggin He's chosen, and He's bringing us up to this place of all the land should be filled with His honor. We should experience it like on a heart level and a visualized level. We should go into that space. And Israel will see eye to eye, the human will see the truth of godliness, so just as the Sephardi eye sees it, just as they saw it at the giving of the Torah. The Iksiv, Ata Reis Eladas, Ki Hashem Ulakim, Ein Od Mavada. You showed yourself so that it be known that Hashem is the Lord. Yeah, Hashem, we say this every time we bring out the Torah in Nusach Sfard, Ein Od Mavado, there's nothing else but Hashem. We say this Lashon on Tisha B'Av even, it's in the Parsha of Eschanan, we read that prayer on Tisha B'Av. The day of seemingly Chorban becomes a day of Chibur to the true reality, the Ein Od Mavado. Through this ascent of Klipah Nogah to holiness, these three on clean klipahs that we were talking about before, that are preventing the unification and the kavod of Hashem being revealed, what's going to happen with them? They're going to be utterly annihilated, or whatever you say it, and nullified. They're all going to be removed. It's good times. You won't have this blockage inside of you because of certain things we've done. You won't have blockages inside of Am Yisrael. When you're talking to someone, you won't just talk. You'll connect in the deepest way. One of the most frustrating points with all this therapy world and psychology and all the podcasts and all the hisoiris of well-being and mental well-being is it really getting to the pnimis? Is it really breaking through to the nefesh of Am Yisrael? Or is it just on an external level, plastering ups, like cognitive therapy, like very external acts of behavioral therapy, to get to the inner essence, to really make a shinui, to make a change, and to bring out the true potential and heal the child within, and all the deep stuff that they're trying to do? It takes like a halavai. it takes Mashiach basically, or a certain aura of Mashiach, to really remove away the blockages. We have to, at the end of the day, we have to use the aces of tzaddikim, because they're not going to fully remove it. Because these are strong blocks, these are strong shells that have held Am Yisrael down before Mashiach comes. One of the explanations of why it's 3 klipahs, I heard this once from Moshe Wilson, very deep concept. There's Keneged Chochmah, Bina, Daat, and it's Keneged Ammon, Moab, and who's the third one? And Esav. Yeah, we're not allowed to make chosnas. We're not allowed to go into their lands, the lands of Esav and Moab and Ammon. There are 3 areas that Am Yisrael can't deal with till when? Till Mashiach comes. When Mashiach comes, we're going to conquer those 3 lands. Obviously, Daat Melech Yichus is going to help, and because he comes from Moab, and Ammon, we know that we had Nama came from that, and so we have the Yichus, we have the ability to. We already draw out Gerim from those nations, and Esav we know Rabbi Kiva, other Tzaddikim came out from Esav. So we already have the ability through the Gerim and through the converts and through the Nitzotis that we brought during Golus, but we haven't completely entered. There's a Me'enon Mashiach, we haven't completely conquered those lands, which is connected to Chochmah Bina. We haven't really manifested, which is really why Chabad was a Mashiach Gilui. What we're learning here, even it's Mamish Mashiach, we're learning the Oresh Mashiach in Tanya, and we're experiencing the awe of Chochmah Bina Das, which is really the Chelik of Ammon, Moab, and Esav, and it's only being Megala through when Mashiach comes, but because the Balatanya was a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov through the Maggid, and he was already Megala, this Yichud and this Pnimius Torah already before Mashiach comes to get us ready for Mashiach. So we're already tapping into the Chochmah Bina Das of those 3 nations that are in Golus. So that's why ultimately there'll be 10 city Eri Mikla. Everything will come to Shlemus. 10 will be the Shlemus. Right now it's still 7 Eri Mikla, or 9, I think. How many is in Eretz? The kids said we've got to get to the full shlemus of 10. There's going to be a shlemus of 10, the 10 spheres, the Chochmah Bina Das. So 3 weeks will be turned into 3 weeks, which is also connected to Chochmah Bina Das, will be turned into 3 weeks of Simcha and Sosan. So there'll be a tikkun of this whole Indian that we're not yet conquered. That's why you can't learn Torah Tisha B'Av, because it's a day where the Chochmah Bina Das is in Golus. So we can't really manifest it fully until Mashiach comes. The amazing thing is, Mashiach's born on Tisha B'Av. We said, Eino Mavada. So all those things holding back this gilui of Chochmah Bina Das, of true wisdom, will be removed. For the nurture and vitality which they now receive from holiness, Elevating Klipah Nogah, by way of Klipah Nogah, the intermarriage between them. Remember I said now once we remove the Klipah Tameis, we've got this translucent shell called Klipah Nogah, where most of us are busy with these phones, and a lot of things we're busy with all day, on the category of Klipah Nogah. Nimsa ki kol tachlis shel Yemos HaMashiach tchias hamesim shugili kavodo ve'elikosi yisbarach la'av ve'ruach tu'im me'aretz. It follows therefore the purpose of Messiah and the resurrection, namely the revelation of His glory and divinity, and the banishment of the spirits of impurity from the earth. Talib hamshachis alikusa v'orein sof bochul and nefesh chonis chalas Yisrael b'chol ramach v'varei adekima kol ramach mitzvos aseh. As we said last week, it's going to only fully manifest the kavod of Hashem and the full gilui of divinity in this world, with Mashiach coming, through the 248 mitzvahs, the 248 limbs of the vital soul of Yisrael. Because the 248 limbs of Varam of Am Yisrael, we're one body ultimately. Yeah, there's the head, there's the heart, there's the arms, there's the people that do tzedakah, there's the people that have tefillah, there's people that teach, that guide, that have the chochmah, and then there's the people that are doing all day, running around, building Am Yisrael. They're all different parts of the human body of Am Yisrael, 248 limbs, which are connected to 248 mitzvahs, positive mitzvahs. And this will vitalize the world and suffuse everything with godliness, including this Klipah Nogah, because there won't be the blockages anymore. And now all the translucent items, imagine everything, all the internet, all the computers, everything that we're so worried about AI, everything will become part of Gilui of Hashem through the mitzvahs that we'll do with it. And the banishing of the spirit of impurity, and the good news is that we not only remove the impure klipas from the vital soul of Am Yisrael, by the vital observance of all 365 mitzvahs, that prevents the 365 blood vessels, the sinews, from drawing nurture from the spirit of impurity. So we're not going to have any impurity in our system because we're not going to nurture any of that. That's part of the fact that it's being removed. Because it's not just being removed in some, like voodoo, God forbid, some magical abracadabra thing. It's because we've purified our system as a people, so there won't be any connection to these three spirits of impurity. We said we'll even conquer those three lands of Esav, Ammon, and Moab. So there won't be any present anymore. Esav himself will do tshuva. It says, when Mashiach comes, that whole nation will do tshuva. Everything's going to be drawn back to Hashem. So there won't be any blockages. There won't be any false wisdom. And we see before Mashiach comes, the biggest load of nonsense is being revealed more and more every day. Proper whack jobs. I don't know if you saw it in America. But whack job hashkafas, like the most crazy outlooks. Now, even though you take the most simple non-Jew in the world historically, you never say such garbage about anything. If they'd be more honest with their nonsense. These people actually believe in it. It's become like a woke mind virus. It's an illness. But it's because we're getting to the time where all that's going to be purified. So before it's purified, as someone said on a podcast today, very wisely, he said, and I've said this before, when you're boiling a kettle, what happens? What happens if it's quite schmutzy water and you're getting ready to boil it outside, you're camping somewhere and you're boiling it? What rises to the top? All the schmutz. And then eventually with the steam, blows it all out. Right. So it has to get really boiled, really hot. That's what's happening in Israel right now. A lot of boiling, a lot of heat, a lot of balagan, and boiling out all the impurities to the top until they actually go out completely. So what you see on the surface is all the impurities. But that's not going to stay because it's about to be removed. So even though you're seeing it all coming out, but that's only because it's all being about to be removed. The fact it's so externalized, all the nonsense, is because it's about to be removed. So it's a good sign. It's a simulation of Mashiach. Because it's about to go. For the community of Israel combines each of our particular souls as a general source of vitality to the world as a whole. So the whole world gets its vitality through the 600,000 root neshamas of Am Yisrael. So there's millions of Jews. They all come. The millions of Jews all have root neshamas, and those root neshamas are vitalizing the whole of humanity, all the human souls. For example, I'll give you an example, and we're in with this. The 300,000 plus letters in the Torah. If you go to the back here, it should bring it in at the end of Sefer Devarim and Parshat Zos Brocha. It'll tell you how many letters. There's a big number, 300,000 plus. Within those 300,000 plus, there's usually 2 or 3 letters within each letter. Like we said last time, Aleph is a Vav and a Yud and a Yud. So it ends up, if you calculate it properly, those who know how to count the Torah letters, ends up with 600,000 letters. Yeah. So we got Shishim Osius LaTorah. There's 300,000 Osius LaTorah. Connected to 600,000 Osius LaTorah, connected to 600,000 souls of Am Yisrael. They are vitalizing all of humanity through the Torah, through the letters of the Torah, which is bringing vitality to all of humanity since the world was created to Shtachel B'Rais Boy Alma. And then you have all the millions of non-Jews, or billions even, their vitality comes through the fact that they're connected to us. So when you learn the Torah every year, you go through all the Torah, like we're doing here, please God, and you read the whole Torah, you're going through all the 600,000 letters of the Torah. Not only do you do it once, you do it twice, because you're meant to read Shnai Mechazachas Targum. So you're reading it twice, that's the nefesh, the high level of the Yiddish neshama. So by the end of the year, every Simchas Torah, that's such a big day, we've now got, and please God, this year will be B'Shleimus, with Simcha, not like, October, December, be a Geschmack of Simchas Torah, a Shleimus of Simchas Torah, and a Gilui of all the Neshamas of Am Yisrael together, united, 600,000 of us, all the root souls, and then we'd learn it twice, because we should read it ourselves again. And then we have the Unkelus, which is, he was a Ger Tzedek, who was masakin all the Neshamas of all the nations. So that's why we read the Unkelus, connected to all the nations' chiyas, coming through the Torah, through Am Yisrael. So really is a system built that way. Each specific one of them contains to each's related vitality, a 1/100th part of the entire world. This part of the world depends on the vitality of its elevation of God through the vitality of its own elevation. We just have to read one more thing. This means that one elevates his portion of the world by his partaking of this world for the requirements of his body. You have a human body, you have to be real, you're human, vital soul in the service of Hashem, by using it to serve Hashem. And he's going to give lots of examples, which we'll get into next week. All these things that we do, and everything gets elevated through what we're doing. And even more so nowadays, when we eat and drink and we do things, it's obvious how it's global, because everything comes from every part of the world now. All the food and drink and everything, every car, everything's from all around the world. Every phone has chips and parts from all around the world. So elevating the whole world from all the different people involved till it got to a year, till we had Shabbos, till we had a mitzvah, till we did a mitzvah where we had kavanas and lechias from the food we used to serve Hashem. This is what Am Yisrael do. We're fixing and elevating the whole world. We are the root, and if you understand it, just even scientifically or logically, it's a whole system of code, and the Am Yisrael at the center of it, bringing Kiyas. And that's why it's so fundamental to teach Am Yisrael the importance of our mitzvahs, the importance of our role, of us fulfilling our tachlis, our purpose, our shlichus. And with that, please God will be zocher. By us, each of us trying to do our own part and bringing a little bit more light to the world, be zocher to Baruch Hashem, to Mashiach Sekenu, and we'll see all the blockages removed, and the true Gili of Chochmah Bina of what Chabad is really about, which is ultimately, and you know the Rebbe said it, Mashiach now. We want Mashiach now. Amen v'amen.